It's a picture of Sergio versus Formiga because I was hearing some guy earlier on Twitter. I was talking to him just a few minutes ago, actually, and we were talking about how he said McGregor is the only exciting fight on 229, and I had to present him with a couple of different fights that I felt like, um, at least I'm excited for. I realize that I'm a big fan. I like to watch all the fights. I'm trying to pull it up right now for you guys. I'm a big fan. I like to watch all the fights. So I guess I could be a little bit biased, and I could see that a lot of these fights are going to be great fights. But Sergio Petros, Yassir Formiga, however the fuck you say it, great fight there. Flyweight fight, which we know Demetrius Johnson just lost his belt. So the contenders all kind of are trying to align themselves. It's a great fight there. OSP Dominic Reyes. A lot of people don't know about Dominic Reyes, but he's been a silent killer coming up, man. He's what's he on? Oh, he's undefeated. He's on a 9-fight win streak. Jared Cannonier, who I thought was going to be an upcoming knockout artist in the light heavyweight division. Dominic Reyes knocked him out. Let's see, 3-0 in the UFC, 9-0 MMA record. So he's on the come up, man. 6 wins by knockout, 8 finishes, only 1 decision. So I look forward to seeing both of those 2 fights. Michelle Waters and Felice Herrig, maybe not a lot of people will be intrigued with seeing, but maybe it might be a little bit of a ground fight if Felice wants to take her there, or you never know how that's going to go with them too. But I think it has the potential to be exciting. Alexander Volkov, Derek Lewis, people aren't too excited about because Derek Lewis just had the most boring fight of heavyweight history. I agree with. I don't know why I did like this. Weird. But he's still a great fighter if his back injury is better, even if it's not. Volkov is a way more confident fighter. He's not coming off of losses like Ngannou that change your career. He's actually on a 6-fight win streak that includes Verdum, Stephen Struve, Roy Nelson, and Timothy Johnson. Although he lost to Timothy Johnson and Czech Congo and Bellator before that. He's become a good fighter. 20 out of his 30 wins coming by knockout. So he's going to get after. He's not going to be scared like Ngannou was. Don't come fuck with me, Ngannou. I'm not heavyweight. So I ain't trying to hear that shit. But Derek Lewis had his back problems. Hopefully they're better. I like the Derek Lewis that doesn't have back problems, but we'll see which one shows up. I think that has the potential to be a great fight. And then Sean O'Malley's fighting on that card. So who doesn't like to see a Sean O'Malley fight is what I told him. Sean O'Malley is great, man. He's every fight that I've seen him fight in, it made me want to say, oh, when's this kid going to fight again? So he's great for the sport. He's an upcoming guy. And made his own brand of weed, man. So he's making it right now. He's taking the Nate Diaz style, and he's taking it slow, and he's not getting carried away with his opponents. I don't think Adesanya's going to lose, but Derek Brunson might be a little too quick, man. I don't know if he should have took that so quick. That's not obvious. That's obviously not the Sean O'Malley style, though. He's going to get a couple of fights in before you see him fight a name, just because they want to get him ready, man. They want to make sure he's ready for the big time when he gets there. I look forward to seeing when it gets to the big time if he can actually perform like he's performing right now. He's had a couple of here and there performances, but I think that just goes hats off to the opponent that he had, because and Sakamov is who I'm talking about, or Sagamov. Uh, he was great, man. He defended a lot of things that O'Malley tried to do, and uh, it was a great defensive fight overall. Uh, so he's on the card. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the guy he's fighting. Something with a Q. So I ain't even trying to say it. I ain't even gonna do it. But he's fighting that guy. I've seen that guy in one. I think he fought in the prelims for. I'm never gonna get it off memory. I'll never get it off memory, guys. I just gotta go in here and look. Prelims for 221. Rockhold Romero. Yep. Ishihara. He beat Ishihara in a decision. I didn't like it because I liked Ishihara. I still do like Ishihara. I'm knocking for a loss, but yeah, I was definitely going for Ishihara there, and I'm going for O'Malley now. So I can't really remember the fight too well, to be honest. You watch prelim fights, and it's like the big knockout happens, you watch them. If it's somebody you know is coming up, you watch them, you know. But for the rest part, if you're getting decision wins on the prelims, it's like, try again in a couple of months, bro. It's hard to say, but I mean, it's what it's like. It's like the Contender Series. That's why everybody gets so much hype around the Contender Series. Everybody gets so mad that Greg Hardy's getting a lot of hype from the Contender Series. Everybody in Contender Series finishes because they know, what do people want to see? Finishes. So they don't care. So they're like, we're not going to make it if we don't finish somebody. If we get a decision, it could be a war, straight up war. There's too many contracts. He's got to give like 2 or 3 fighters from different fights a contract that he's got to give me and you one. Maybe that's not the way they're looking at that. That's the way I would look at that. That's way too many contracts. 1, 2, this guy. I have 4 fights, or I have 5 fights in the card. 4 of those fighters finished, and then the 5th fight was just a war that went to decision. Unless somebody's finishes was like, like they weren't impressive, like there was nothing impressive about the knockouts or the submissions or whatever. But if they were all impressive fashion, what do you have to pick with? And it's hard, I would assume it would be hard to be those guys, but obviously the Contender Series has showed when it's on the line, these guys finish, man. So in the prelims, that should be these guys should say, it's on the line right now. I'm close. I'm real close. I'm on the stage, or whatever. Even if they're on the fight pass, they're not there yet, but they're close. They're close to getting to the close to be right there next to the there. You know what I'm saying? So, oh yeah, I look at it how I do, like the videos and I do a little bit of writing, shit like that, and how I communicate with people is like how can I put this? I could tie it to it. I don't even know. I was gonna say the way you like if you the way I'm running like the channels and the business and stuff like this is I just reach out to people and I try to connect with them, and I try to I just try to do people favors, write stuff for people. I'll do whatever. I'm trying to get my name out there, get my foot in the door, with somebody. That's it. If I get my foot in the door, somebody likes me, you become close with somebody, whatever, and they help you succeed. You know what I mean? And going full circle, sorry, I kind of spaced that right there, but that's where it kind of ties back into um, fighting, is because you just got to take the fight pass, the prelim, the contender series as a foot in the door, man. Take that foot in the door and show that you're in the house now. And there's no, like, my foot's in the door, so I'm not out, I'm not in. It's like my foot was in the door, you blinked, and now I'm in the house, and sign the contract, or I'll just sit on the couch until you do. Uh, that's kind of the way it works, man. You got a kind of position of power whenever you finish fights. Makes for more exciting fights. I know it's a health issue with fighters, and I support that. I've trained. I've never fought. I want to begin training again, and maybe get a fight in. Kind of, I'm 24, 23, 24, so shouldn't let my youth get away from me. I should get one in before I get too old, at least. Um, so I've been thinking about that. The health does play a part, and I do think about that for the fighters. I just also think about, if you want to be that guy and you want to hold a belt, or you want to be on the main card and you want to make the most money in the UFC, or whatever you want to do, but if you want to be top there in the UFC, you got to finish. And, you know, uh, the what I was getting to with the Ishihara fight was there was a decision there. Ishihara couldn't get the finish either. So, uh, respect to this guy, Q, I'll call him Q, his defense, but just never stuck out. I couldn't really tell you anything significant that happened in the fight. And if you look back at it, how does that help you guys, I understand you guys are evenly matched, but at the end, it's third round, 20 seconds left, 30 seconds left. You guys gotta let it go. Both of you. You're on the prelims, man. You gotta be wanting to get that spot. And at that point, at the UFC point, at the Fight Pass point, it could not even be a finish at that point. It's not like the Contender Series where only a certain amount of people got the contracts. You already got the contract at that point. Now you're just trying to get to a further point. If you go crazy in the last 30 seconds and this guy survives, or this guy goes crazy also and you both survive, whatever happens, it's going to be big. It's going to be news. People are going to put it on the internet. Videos going to be everywhere. It's going to be big. So at that level, yes, decision, win, maybe a loss if it was a good fight. Wars could be good for your career, but not in the Contender Series, as you can see. It's confusing, man. It's a hard battle to see, but the point was there that I have seen him fight, but I don't remember much of it, so I couldn't tell you really my opinion on that fight. I said last Tuesday we were going to break down one fight per week until we got to this card, which I think we're 2 weeks away. So we're going to do the Michael Johnson Andre Fili fight. Michael Johnson, obviously a very powerful striker, coming off of 3 losses straight. Habib first, Gaethje, Elkins. But he beat Poirier by knockout before that in 2016, September. Lost to Diaz and Dariush before that. Beat Barboza, Melvin Gillard, and Gleason Tybau, and Joe Lozon. And now we're on fucking UFC on Fuel in 2013 and shit. But he also holds wins over Tony Ferguson, dangerous fighter, man. Dangerous fighter. And Michael Johnson. What are they fighting this at? Featherweight? Is that a jump up for Feely? I feel like Feely was 35. Catch weight. Diaz missed weight. 45. Maybe he's been 45 for that long. I don't know. I thought he looked like a smaller guy. He just beat Bermudez and Lobov, but lost to Calvin Kattar and beat Hurricane. Diaz lost to Yair Rodriguez. He's going back and forth. But he also has losses to Max Holloway. Just off his stats wise, wins, losses, looks like he's more but yeah, he's either gonna knock you out or he's gonna take it to a decision. I never really liked the Andre Fili, so I never really liked to turn on his fights. Tell you the truth, until Cody Garbrandt came along, I never really liked Team Alpha Male. I didn't like Faber, I didn't like Fili. I didn't like Mendez. I just didn't like a bunch of them, man. And then I liked Cody Garbrandt. When I see a Cody Garbrandt fight, I liked it. I liked the way I see him fight. But I just never liked Fili. Never. So I got Michael Johnson by knockout. And I posted a poll earlier. And we could talk about the poll because I think it's going to end. The Barbecue Pit at Twitter at the Barbecue Pit _live. Check there. We do polls all the time. 38% said Michael Johnson by decision. 25 said Johnson by finish. 13 said Fili by decision. 24% said Fili by finish. So more people, period, say Michael Johnson by finish. I also did the main event that we went over last week. I did a poll for them. And it's split 50-50 right now. 40% say Vic by finish, 10% say Vic by decision, 15% say Gaethje by decision, and then 35% say Gaethje by finish. I don't see the Gaethje finish. I don't really. I don't know if we talked about that or not, but I like the way he fights. He's a crazy, swings wild. And you get clipped by a couple of those punches, and maybe it wobbles you for a minute, but it's no. I don't see him knocking people out. He beat Michael Johnson by wearing him down. Michael Johnson got extremely tired, and he took it to his body, and just over time of a certain amount of punches, and Michael Johnson not being able to defend himself correctly because he was so tired, the referee stopped the fight. And that's how Michael Johnson lost that fight, which Michael Johnson was landing some good strikes in that fight, but he was losing also. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just giving it to Michael Johnson based off of bias. I don't like Andre Fili. Michael Johnson, you're a horrible shit talker. You're not good at all. You say weird things. Don't do that. Stick to being a good striker, and press conferences, do something else. Try to be badass some other way, but don't talk. Be badass. That's what a lot of go away from Michael Johnson now, because I want Michael Johnson to win. I'm shouting Michael Johnson, but a lot of people want to be like Conor McGregor, and what they want to do is they want to be like a voice, like Conor McGregor. They want to talk and they want to think of funny things to say or whatever. And that's when you get like people like Luke Rockhold or Michael Johnson. Justin Gaethje's bad, you know. Cody Garbrandt not good. Who else? There's a couple of different people that just like Ronda Rousey, not good at all. Zero. That was just fucking. I mean, like she tried hard, but it was just awkward because you're not going against that role, and you're trying to yell and scream in Holly Holmes' face. Holly Holmes like just trying to like be martial arts to you and shit. But it's a bunch of different factors that go into it, but there's a bunch of different ways that these people don't understand. They don't have to say these things and make themselves look stupid. They don't have to say stuff. They could do other things. They could do the Nate Diaz approach. And Nate Diaz, he says some stuff where you can't really understand him sometimes because he talks fast or however he talks that you can't understand him. I understand what he says. And so you could be like that. You could say something here, you think of something, you can say something here, about, but for the rest of the time, you're just like, fuck you. Fuck, I don't care what you got to say. I'm about to fuck you up. That's it. Fuck you. I'll see you there. Fuck you up. Whatever, and just act badass about it. And, there's the whole Michael Chiesa thing where you're like, somebody get in between us. I was rooting for Michael Chiesa, man, in the Kevin Lee fight, and then he's like, don't talk about my mom, man. Hey, man, I will get somebody up here in between us. I immediately, as soon as he said that, I just switched my pick. In my head, I mean, we weren't doing that live now, but I was like, I just switched my pick just now. I want Kevin Lee to win now. That was so weird. And it was really weird. But he went after him. Kevin Lee landed a punch. That's how that ended. But that's it for the barbecue pit this week. Short week, short video. I'm going on vacation this weekend, so we don't got nothing. Of course, no UFC. PFL's on Thursday. Shout out to Evil Eddie, Ron Jones, Collective Minds Incorporated. He made an app that the app lets you see people in your area that are playing pickup basketball. So if you play pickup basketball, you just log on, you allow your map settings or whatever so that you can see the people and the people can see you. And if somebody's close by you, just send them a message, hey, where you guys play, who you got a team, yeah, you got people, whatever. You say, and you could find people to hoop with around you. And the thing about these apps is I've had these apps before, but this is a great app. They incorporate it just like it's like Facebook or Twitter. So you could get the app and do the news feed, send messages. There's a bunch of different features inside the app. So they have it kind of like set up like a social media a little bit. But the thing about those apps is with the pickup basketball is that none of those apps is going to be good unless a lot of people gets on it, unless a lot of people download it. And I think this app has a lot of potential to be good. I think it's great. I see if I could drive to Atlanta or Chicago or New York or somewhere like that, what I'm saying? If I'm ever in New York or if I'm ever back in Atlanta or something like that, and I could pull this thing up and bap, and I found people that, that want to hoop, that's tight. That's something that's real cool, man. And they're sponsored by cool people. I think it's called creativity.com. They just got a bunch of like NBA player merchandise, like a bunch of shirts that got like shirts, hoodies, hats, whatever, that got like pictures of like cartoon pictures of like Brandon Ingram, Anthony Davis, was Jaron Blassingame, a couple other people, Fred Fleet, a couple of different people. And also sponsored by the B3 Academy, the little pro-am in Atlanta. So it's a cool thing. I think it has a lot of potential. It's got a lot of smart people behind the app. We just got to get a lot of people to download the app, go on there, and be available to see. If you're available to see, we play more basketball. That's how that works, guys. See you next week. Tuesday, guys. Holla at you.